In the middle of tremendous darkness and personal tragedy, false lights are trying to guide us, and they can bring shipwreck. We must be focused on God's pathways and His light in the storms of life. Christ is the light of navigation. Hello, and welcome to the Light of Navigation and the God Stories. My name is Marguerite Lever-Woodall, and I'm an author, speaker, and your host. I write short stories about real-life supernatural encounters with God, and I love to explore what it is, what it means to follow God's pathways. In this 11th episode of the God Stories, called God and the Boardroom, I'm sharing with you a strange but very revealing dream that God gave me. I believe many of you out there can relate to it too. With that in mind, let me ask you this. What dominates your thought life? Come and join me in the adventures of the God Stories and experience the encounters with the goodness of God, even in the middle of our life storms. You know, dreams are unique to the individual. There seems to be a lot of it going around these days. I'm not much of a dreamer, but sometimes God will speak through this avenue to me. When He does, it's usually brief, but very power-packed in its content. God will use dreams to reveal what's really going on inside of our souls, and it's for examination and direction. I found that the insights that can be gleaned from them are far-reaching and give me a lot of food for thought for some time. I dreamt of a boardroom one night. It had the customary elongated wood-tone table with several chairs lining each side and two large chairs at each end. Sitting at one end, I looked down the length of the table at the different occupants of the chairs. There was the specter of cancer, threatening a return to power with a corporate takeover. Grief was sitting patiently, ready to speak at any given moment. If given the chance, he'd never stop when he started. Miscellaneous projects stared at me from his chair, piping up to remind me there's a lot of stuff to do. And by the way, when would I be done? He's such a nag. Photos and memories spoke up periodically, complaining of being stuck in boxes, unorganized, a lifetime's worth of them. Would I ever get my framed pictures placed on those house walls? After all, it's been a year since I moved into the new home. Weight loss was constantly murmuring in the background, wondering if he would ever be given a better boardroom position than the one he has. Finding purpose kept looking all around the room, searching for something the entire time. Distraction brought several squirrels to the meeting, and just loves to bring them to my morning devotionals as well. Loneliness sat silently wondering if someone would ever enter my life as a husband and friend again. Injustice, along with its pain, stuck its head out down the center of the table repeatedly, trying to catch my attention. His partner next to him, unforgiveness, kept trying to stick his 2 cents in as well. How I hate them. They have done me much harm. How did they get on the board anyway? This meeting of the boardroom of life wasn't looking real positive. Everyone had their own agenda. My table was filled up and there were no empty chairs. I didn't know what to say or do as I looked down its length at each chair's occupant. I felt overwhelmed in those moments. Does anyone else have these board meetings too? You know what I mean. It's when everyone gets together to overwhelm you all at once in life with a hostile takeover. Then I saw the CEO of the board sitting quietly at the other end of the table. He was smiling and waiting to take charge. I recognized him and his presence when he had walked me through previous life events. Many hardships and perplexing circumstances confront the righteous, but the Lord rescues him from them all. Psalm 34:19. Thank you for listening to my story. If this podcast strikes a chord with you or someone you know, pass it on. Your comments are valued, and subscribing is also deeply appreciated. If you hang tight with God with all your heart, He will lovingly lay groundwork in your life to handle any incoming difficult circumstances ahead of time. In episode 12 of the God Stories, I'll share with you about a divine visitation from God. It was given for the preparation of an upcoming difficult event. The true story of God, the banquet, and the frogman will be an episode you won't want to miss.